Hello, and welcome to a gentle outdoor yoga class. Please find yourself in a comfortable seated position. Sometimes we just need to take some time out for ourselves, and these next 45 minutes is what we'll do. Just bringing our attention into ourselves, making some gentle movements and lengthening in the body. Please do what feels good to you. I will be making suggestions, but this time and this practice is for you. So feel your sit bones on your mat. Start to make some gentle circles in your torso, keeping both hips on the mat and sitting up tall, right? Starting to tell the body to relax, letting the shoulders fall away from the ears, just making some gentle movements and being aware of your breath and where is your breath going. How are you breathing today? Is it rushed, or can you breathe a little slower, a little deeper? Maybe place a hand on the heart and a hand on the belly so you can feel yourself connect with the breath. In through the nose, out through the nose. It's our Ujjayi breath. Very nice. Relaxing the hands on the knees and begin to make those circles a little bit larger. We're bringing more movement into our bodies now. You still want to lengthen the spine, so thinking about a string pulling the crown of your head up to the sky, and also staying grounded, keeping the hips, both hips on the mat. And if you like, you could play with, lifting one hip up. What does that feel like? Play with lifting the hips up and then trying those circular motions with the hips relaxing. Nice, strong, sturdy foundation on the ground. And go ahead and go in the other direction. Coming back to the breath. As you lean forward, opening the chest, breathing into the heart. Very nice. Let's go ahead and inhale both arms up. Lengthen your arms. You're looking up to your fingertips, wiggling the fingers, taking a nice long stretch. And inhale one more time up and exhale, forward fold, walking the hands to the top of your mat. Right, just go ahead and walk out the fingers nice and slow and easy. And then feel that lengthening. Feel your muscles engage. Again, trying to keep both your sit bones on the mat, bringing the forehead down towards the mat as close as you can, connecting with the breath, and engaging your arms and your back, your shoulders. Very nice. Go ahead and Walk up with the hands and then taking the hands behind in a clasp behind you, squeezing the shoulder blades, opening the heart, lifting the chin up gently. Nice opening in the front of the body as we squeeze our shoulder blades together behind us. Very nice. Inhale both arms up and exhale, lengthen to one side. A nice long side stretch. Nice and gentle, keeping the spine, um, the vertebrae stacked on one another. So we're not twisting our body here. We're staying in our alignment, keeping the spine nice and strong and tall. Inhaling and exhaling. Exhaling over to one side. Very nice. Let's bring up both arms or one arm on the other side. Inhaling up and exhale. Side stretch on the other side. Very good. Bringing that arm up, the other arm up. Inhale, exhale. Maybe a little deeper this time. Right? We're just slowly bringing movement into our body, doing what feels good, remembering what I'm doing will look different than what you're doing because our bodies are different. That's beautiful. Inhale up and exhale. Lengthen. I like to look up to the sky, look down at the hand. Notice how that feels. Very good. Let's take both arms up. Lengthen. Really reaching those arms up to the sky. You can wiggle your fingers. Make circles with your wrists. Inhaling again. And exhale, forward fold. That's my crow friend that just came by. I don't know if you can hear that. I'm speaking. Okay, walk your fingers out a little more. Engage your back muscles, keeping both hip bones on the mat, forehead towards the mat, connecting with the breath. Very nice. Walking the hands up and then interlacing the fingers behind the back and then opening the heart. Maybe taking a moment here to think of something that you're grateful for, something you appreciate in your life. Very good. We're going to take big sweeping movements with our arms now. So let's start by just taking a few circular motions with the body again and just noticing what feels different. How do you feel now as we've started to wake up the muscles, stretching, lengthening. Hopefully it feels good. Okay, and one more time, inhaling both arms up and exhaling to one side and then sweeping the arms out in front of you in a big circle up into the sky and then across in front of you in your mat again. Go ahead and go at your own pace. Connect to your breath. Inhaling on the way up and then exhale as you sweep your hands in front of you. And go in the other direction. One more time. Inhale on the up. And then finding your hands at heart center, a prayer pose. You're sitting in an easy pose right now. Feet are cross-legged. You could even offset the feet, the legs, so one leg is in front of the other. And maybe your knees touch the ground, maybe they don't. And just placing either both hands on the heart, or if you like, you could use prayer pose. And have your thumbs touch your breastbone. And one more time, think of something different that you're grateful for. What's one more thing in your life that you appreciate? That's my lovely Diego. Very good. Bringing the feet in front of us now, let's start to wake up our legs. So start by shaking the legs out. You could even give your legs a little squeeze. Really start to wake up the skin, right? Get the blood moving, you know, rubbing those muscles. Very nice. And pointing and flexing the feet, making circles with the ankles. Very good. Maybe bringing the toes from one side to the other. And noticing if your legs are different. Hmm. Already feeling both sit bones firmly planted on your mat. Legs are straight and in front of you. Flexing the toes or feet so that the toes are facing up towards your head. Sitting up tall, dropping the shoulders away from the ears. Imagining that thread, that vibrant golden thread that's lifting you up tall to the sky. Very good. Inhaling both arms up. And exhaling, forward fold, nice and gentle. First forward fold. Go ahead and let your back round and the head drape towards the knees. And take a few rounds of breath here. Very nice. Walking up, sitting up tall, and inhaling up. Lifting up to the sky, stretching out those fingers, and then exhale. Forward fold. Find your toes if you can this time. Or maybe find your ankles. Just go a little bit deeper than the last time. And breathe into your lower back. Breathe into the back area. You're expanding. Feeling your torso expand with each inhalation. And then with each exhalation, maybe dropping a little closer to your knees. Very nice. Walking up tall, sitting up tall. One last time. Inhaling up. And exhale, forward fold. Finding your toes. Maybe looking at your toenails. Right. Maybe pulling the toes toward closer to your head. Whatever feels good. But going a little deeper than the last time. Very nice. Walking to sit up tall, walking up with your hands to sit up tall. We're going to bring the right foot in close to the body, taking the left foot to the outside of the mat, and then adjusting so that we're looking out over that left leg. Go ahead and keep the foot flexed, and then inhale, both arms up, and exhale, forward fold. Again, letting your hands fall wherever they do, and inhaling into your torso to make some room, some expansion, feeling the expansion. Very good. Walking up, taking both hands up, inhaling up, and this time we're going to exhale into a twist, looking over your right shoulder behind you, left hand on the right knee, keeping the spine stacked and tall. Very good. Releasing and then doing the same thing on the other side. So taking the opposite foot out long, the leg out long, bringing the left foot into the body now, looking out over that outstretched leg and inhaling both arms up. Exhale, forward fold and find your toes. Very good. Using the hands to walk up, sitting up tall, inhaling in through center. This time, exhale to twist to the left, looking over the left shoulder behind you, right hand on left knee, keeping that front foot flexed, keeping the spine stacked and tall, inhaling all the way up through the spine, and exhaling, bringing the breath back down through your sit bones, both firmly planted on your mat. Very good. Coming to sit forward. Hello, my sweet. Let's come down all the way down onto our backs. Going to come into Banana Asana. Remember, this is a gentle lengthening yoga class today. So we're going to come all the way down with our backs on the mat, and we're going to make that crescent moon shape with our bodies. So we will first move our legs slightly to the right, so the right side of your mat, and even cross the left leg over the right ankle. And then moving the upper body ever so gently also to the right. And then sweeping that left arm up, both hands are overhead, a nice lengthening on the side, our crescent moon. connecting with the breath. Sometimes we just need to relax to rejuvenate. And with each inhalation, bring in something that you're grateful for. What is there that you can appreciate? There's always something. Coming through center, go ahead and inhale, stretching the arms overhead, lengthening the body, pointing the toes towards one wall, the fingers towards the opposite. If you're in a home, or if you're outdoors like me, pointing the toes in the opposite direction from the fingers, and then gently moving to Banana Asana on the other side. So taking the left foot and the right foot both to the outside, the left side of the mat, and then moving the upper body. So the hips are staying center, and we're just moving the upper body and the lower body to make a crescent moon shape. Now we can be relaxed in this pose, but I want to engage in this stretch, right? So I'm going to hold the ankle, the wrist of the arm of the side I'm stretching. And taking a moment to be grateful. Very nice. Coming through center, lifting the upper body, moving the lower body, and bending both knees, finding your ankles with your fingertips, setting up for bridge pose. Move my ponytail. So go ahead and play with, play with your pelvic bone. So finding your lower back on the mat and then maybe sort of relaxing what might be a more natural pose. And then notice that there's a little gap between your lower back and the mat. And then engaging the abs, clenching the abs, pushing down the lower back on the mat. Right? And moving back and forth between this posture just to get a feel. What does that feel like? Pressing down the lower back onto the mat. Right? So we're using our abdominal muscles. So when we engage our core, we're protecting our lower back. So if you ever do sit-ups and sometimes your back is hurting, that's because your abdominals just aren't strong enough yet to protect the lower back. And so doing a micro movement like this is really going to be helpful. So keep pressing your lower back to the mat, right? Noticing what it feels like to engage your abs. Can you hold here? Can you breathe while you hold? And release. What does that feel like? You can rock your knees back and forth gently. And then setting up for bridge. So we're going to push our lower backs to the mat, right? Tilting our pelvic bone, engaging the abs. And then inhale and pressing up. Pressing the hips up to the sky, interlacing the hands underneath you if you can. You want to push away from the mat. And then squeeze your glutes and see if you can push the pelvic bone up even a little higher. Right? Engaging the inner thighs. Very good. Release. Exhale, release, and rock back and forth with the legs, maybe bringing the legs up to you, giving yourself a hug, rocking back and forth. Make some circles with the knees. Very good. Now let's do that again. So bringing the feet down to the mat, the soles of the feet touching the mat, fingertips finding the heels, and then tilting the pelvic bone, engaging the abs, and inhaling, pushing up, pushing both hips up, and then interlacing the hands underneath you, right, squeezing the shoulder blades together, and then keep thinking up, right? You want to continue to lift up and breathe. Very nice. Release. Let's bring the legs all the way out and just shake it out. And then bringing both the arms and the feet up to the sky, to the ceiling, and shake it out. Very nice. Very good. Let's bring in the right leg, the right knee, hugging that knee to you, and lengthen the left leg out. Nice and tall. And just keep hold of that right leg. And then start to make some circles. So maybe it'll feel like a little back massage. You're sort of playing with the flexibility in your hip. Explore this movement and what feels good. Maybe you lengthen the bent leg, bring it back. Very nice. And then the posture that we want to find ourselves coming into is a nice supine twist. So I will tee out my arms and then drop my knee across my body. So my right knee is crossing over to my left side. I'm just going to look up. You can continue the twist by looking over your right shoulder, but it may be enough to just continue to look up. And if this is a little much, you could bring both knees together and drop them over to the side. There's a little less tension in this posture. And coming back to the breath. Nice deep inhalation through the abdominals, the diaphragm, moving the breath up to the spine, right back down through your sit bones. Very good. Coming through center, gently coming out of that pose, making some rocking movements with the body. You can even sit up, look around, adjust, rock back and forth. Taking the hands and the feet up to the sky again, shaking everything out. Maybe making some noise. Ah, Very good. And then doing the same thing that we did on the other side. Bringing the left knee to center, giving that leg a hug. Nice outstretched leg, the opposite leg. And then taking your bent knee and just making some circles. Doing what feels good here. What can use a little more movement, a little more flexibility in your body? You're just going to find those edges, right? We don't want pain, right? But we want to grow. So you can find those places of tension and maybe hold there for a moment. Breathe into those spaces. Very good. And then eventually we'll meet in that nice supine twist. Connecting with the breath. Being gentle and easy with yourself and these movements. Coming through center. Taking a long lengthening again. Pointing the toes in the opposite direction from the fingertips overhead. Very nice. And then coming to a seated position again, however you want to get there. We will tuck our toes and sit back on our heels. So this could be quite an intense stretch for some. So stay in it as long as you can or are willing. Finding a spot in front of your mat, maybe closing your eyes if you want. Connecting with your breath. Some people can stay here for a minute. Some people it's much shorter. Pretty flexible toes to sit here. So unravel gently whenever you need to. And then same thing. Sometimes this might be enough, right? This posture may be enough, just sitting back on the soles of our feet. But if it's in your practice, you can lift one knee up at a time. You can play around with bringing both knees up. Very good. And let's take the hands out and just stretching the hands out in front. Use one hand to bring the fingers back of the other arm. Okay, so we're lengthening the top arm here. Very nice. And doing it on the other side. Making some circles with our wrists. And then we're going to point the fingers behind. So pointing towards our toes. And then seeing if we can get the palms of our hands on our mat, just to the side of us. This may be enough. And if you'd like to go a little bit deeper, you can bring the hands up a little closer to your knees. Trying to get the full palm on the mat. And when you find your edge, just hold the posture, come to the breath. Very nice release. This time we will bring the tops of our hands to our mat. So fingers are still pointing behind us. Same thing, probably don't need to go too far for this. Lengthening the tops of the arms this time. Finding your edge, not pain, just finding that next step of lengthening. And keeping the gaze easy, perhaps even closing your eyes. Connecting with the breath, breathing into those places of tension. Very good, release. Let's make some circles with our wrists again. Maybe giving the hands and fingers a quick massage. Very nice. Let's come on to hands and knees, finding our tabletop, and coming into our very popular cat and cow. So cat, where we round up the back, pushing away the mat with our hands and our knees. The knees are underneath the hips and the hands are underneath the shoulders. And then our cow is when we drop our belly, so our pelvic bone is moving again, right? And then opening the chest, chin up towards the sky, eyes up to the sky. And then back and forth, cat and cow. Noticing how this feels now. As hopefully we've really let the juices start to flow in our spines. So taking some authentic movement, whatever feels good in the body. Maybe pushing back, opening the knees, pushing back into a child's pose. Okay. Walking the fingers out. Remember engaging in this pose. Really feeling it in the back. And then bringing the hips to the mat now. Coming into a low cobra or an up dog. Maybe looking over both shoulders. Very nice. And then coming into that tall seated position in front of you. Bringing the soles of the feet together. I'll stretch out my legs first. But then bringing the soles of the feet together. Oftentimes, I'll have us bring the soles of the feet in close. But today, let's keep the legs further away. And this, again, this may be enough. This posture may be as challenging as you are feeling today. But if it's in your practice, you could take a breath, lifting up and then exhaling, slowly walking your hands forward. You can give yourself a foot massage while you're here. Right, thanking the body, thanking your feet for getting you around. Right, the feet do a lot of work for us. And sometimes goes unappreciated and don't nearly get as many foot rubs as they deserve. So let's just walk this massage up the legs, thanking every little bit of your body, coming up into your torso, giving yourself a hug, bringing the legs out in front of you. Just take a few inhalations, opening the arms, lifting the heart to the sky, and exhaling, rounding the back, giving yourself that hug, thanking yourself for being here today, giving yourself a little massage. Inhaling, opening up, opening the heart, and exhaling, thinking of one thing that you appreciate about yourself. Very good. Let's finish our practice in Shavasana. So coming all the way down on our mats, letting the feet come out on either side of the mat. We're taking up some space. I see people sometimes who just lay very, you know, still like with tension in their body. But this is it. This is the final pose. This is corpse pose. So this is death. We're just going to lay it out there. And so go ahead and take up some space in this final pose, letting the arms go out past your mat. You don't have to be on your mat. Palms up to the sky, connecting with your breath. Until there's nothing but stillness in the breath. Thinking of all those things that we thought of over class, of things we're grateful for, things we appreciate in our lives and about ourselves. And with this renewed sense of appreciation, we're going to come back to life anew, beginning to wiggle fingers and toes, lift the arms overhead, nice long lengthening, bringing the breath in, bringing the legs up for a hug, and then rolling over on one side and coming up into a comfortable seated position. Thank you so much for being here with me for this gentle yoga class. I hope you feel rejuvenated. We'll end our class together with the sound of one Om, so bringing hands to heart center, taking a big breath, inhale for Om. Hands to your third eye. May you always see beauty, may you always hear truth, and may you always know love. Namaste.